Well, we appreciate all you guys being here. It's always great having people out. It's kind of the indication that we're about ready to go to Arizona and get things going. So the support, especially over the last couple of years, has been tremendous, and today's no different. So salute to all of you guys for being out here. And I know the guys we're about to bring up are really appreciative, and all the other people part of the organization love the support. And it's great having a building community and growing fan base. So thank you guys for being a part of all that. All right, well, you're not here to listen to me speak. So first person I'm going to bring up, and my only ask is when we bring these guys up, I'd love for you guys to let them know how much you appreciate them being here by getting loud and getting on your feet if you want. But our first guest received a pretty big award yesterday. He won it months ago, got the actual hardware, had a really big moment during the year as well, a big walk-off home run at this very ballpark. A Silver Slugger Award winner now. Give a round of applause for Josh Smith.
How y'all doing?
Should we bring someone else up or just leave him off to the side? What do you think?
Yeah, no, you can bring him up. I don't want to be here by myself.
You know, okay, all right. Well, joining Josh is a good buddy of his, a teammate of his. He spends a lot of time on the infield dirt with him. This guy has won a Silver Slugger. He's won a couple of World Series MVPs and played a huge role at bringing a World Series to the Texas Rangers. Shortstop, Corey Seager. We can keep the chants going. You want to get the Seager.
Hi, guys.
All right, let's change it up. Smitty.
Let's get a
juice going.
Yeah.
Do you like that or juice better?
Definitely juice.
I like juice for sure.
You like juice better? We'll get into that in a second. Let's go. We're going to keep doing this. I like it. All right, it's great having you two up here. Thanks for taking the time. And it's cool. You guys are good buds too, right? So it's your teammates, good friends. Can you guys talk about your relationship? Because I know you spend so much time with all your teammates, and having relationships like the relationship you guys have certainly helps get through the ups and downs of a season.
Go ahead, bud.
Yeah, so I think just obviously Corey and I have become friends, just playing with each other the past couple years, but I think just it speaks to the team itself just to have guys like Corey, like some of these other guys, DeGrom, Evo, Marcus, all these guys. It's just to be able to, you're with these guys almost more than you're with your family, and so to have guys that you're close with just kind of makes it fun, makes it easy to come to the field, and you do miss your family at times, but these guys just make it a little bit easier on you.
Yeah, I'd say the same thing. This is kind of what it's about for us. It's building relationships. That's the stuff that people always talk about they miss once they're done, is the camaraderie in the clubhouse, the competitiveness, being around the guys. So it's a lot of fun, and it's a lot of fun with this group.
Corey, what makes Josh a great teammate?
He's I almost said selfish. Selfless. The selflessness. Yeah. Man, here we go. We got 45 more minutes of this. He's just a great guy. He comes to the field the exact same every day, positive, wants to be around. Super humble guy. Just loves the moment, loves being here, loves being with the guys. And that's all you can ask for.
Occasional bad.
What about the year he had last year, Corey? He went from fighting to be in the lineup in 23 to being a fixture. Silver Slugger, we mentioned that, being a big part of this team's lineup in offensive success. What did you see from him that allowed him to take some steps in that direction?
Yeah, that's huge. That's a hard spot to be in. As a teammate, you never want to see a teammate go down, but he took advantage of his opportunity, and it was huge for us. I mean, he hit third for us most of the year. That's a big part of the lineup, and it was it's cool to just see him grow and get his time at the plate and figure himself out and figure out the player he is and who he wants to be, and kind of grew into it and flourished.
What about this guy, Josh? What is it about being a teammate of Corey Seager's that you think has been a fun experience?
Yeah, it's pretty cool for me, and I kind of probably speak for a lot of the younger guys. Like, when he's been in the league now for close to 10 years, and so when I was in college and high school, like, this guy has been in the big league since then, and so it's cool to see the player he was then, and then you kind of get to experience it like firsthand, and you get to play with him. So we do look up to him. I don't want to gas him up, but as
don't
a role
age
model,
me either, man. Come on.
Yeah, he's getting old too, but we look up to him as a role model, and he does a lot of things right, honestly, on the baseball field. But I think a lot of the reason a lot of people like him is because of the guy is off the field, and so we just we get along in that aspect of things, right? Like, baseball is great, but you got to be a good human, and he's a good human. So,
hold on, Corey, I met you when you were a teenager.
Yeah, literally.
Are you old now?
Apparently,
it's like
man.
30.
Dang, where'd that
He's
go?
an old guy.
Look at the Grays.
Yeah. Oh, those have been around for a while.
What is it about getting to watch Corey? What's something you've maybe learned from him, getting to see him do his thing on a daily basis now the last couple years?
Yeah, I think he's probably one of the more focused players I've ever been around. It's not that it's just he works very smart. He knows who he is. He knows what kind of player he is, what kind of person he is. But he's like literally the same exact guy every single day. He might have said that about me, but he gets on to me sometimes. I come to the field with a pretty bad mood sometimes, but he's the same guy every day, good or bad, 0 for 4, 4 for 4, it doesn't matter. So that's the guys you like being around, and so he makes it easy for us young guys and even some of our other teammates.
Who are some of the guys that helped you last year, whether it was a year ago today in the offseason getting ready for 2024, and then throughout the season and dealing with the grind of being an everyday guy?
Yeah, definitely Corey, Marcus, Evo, Josh Young. Even Josh Young and I are the same age, but Josh has a lot of experience that I didn't have, and just kind of watching how he would go about it was pretty cool, just the way he handles it. But yeah, it's hard to, I guess, like, credit one thing or one person, but it's last year definitely was a special year for me personally, just like growing as a player, figuring out who you are, what works, what doesn't work, and so yeah.
You mentioned Evo, and he's obviously not a position player. What is it that he helps you with, or how has he impacted you?
Yeah, so Evo, Evo's not a big hoorah guy or like making speeches or anything, but I've always loved the way people go about it when they kind of lead by example. So he's the same guy every day. He comes in, he's probably one of the hardest workers I've ever been around, and so just to see how he goes about that, whether he's playing hurt or if he's playing 100%, he's the same, and you know what you're going to get out of him every day.
When you were coming up with the Dodgers, who were some of those guys for you that helped show you how to go about things and maybe helped you develop into the player you are?
Yeah, I was fortunate to have some pretty good older guys around me. Guys like JT and Chase Utley and Adrian Gonzalez and Howie Kendrick, and just to take from all of them, right? Everyone went about the game a different way, but once it came 7 o'clock, it was time to go, right? And just the ability to never lose that, right? Like, I still ask him questions about how he makes plays like that, just how they go about the business. You're constantly learning. You're constantly trying to see what you can do and improve. You lose a step or two, so how can you make up for it? There's no end to the game, and I think that's what a lot of us enjoy about it, right? Like, it's always different every day, and you're trying to capitalize.
How has y'all's approach in getting ready for a game changed over time? Like, what are things that maybe you've learned, hey, this works better for me? Technology, data has evolved certainly since you first came into the league, Corey. Josh, I know coming from a big program at LSU, you guys probably had access to a lot of that stuff. But you got to figure out what works for me, what doesn't work for me physically, mentally. How has that process changed for either of you guys?
You want me to go?
Yeah, you
Yeah, that's a good question. It's probably more failure than anything, right? When you're young, you feel like you can run through a brick wall. You take too many swings. You realize you probably do more harm than good with how much you work, right? So it's refining it and just learning, right? Experience teaches you things, and this doesn't work for me, it works for him, and this works for me, it doesn't work for him. So it's just constantly evolving and understanding the player you are and what you're trying to accomplish, and just doing it more efficiently probably is the best way to say it.
Yeah, so just kind of speaking on that, like I think Corey and I are obviously at different parts of our career, and so he's pretty much got the same routine every day. He knows what works for him. I'm still a younger guy, and so I'm kind of learning. My routine, I guess, has probably been different each year, but I am learning what works for me, what doesn't. And I think just listening to your body, like knowing what you need, is a big thing. And so, yeah, I'm still kind of trying to find that routine that works for me. But I would say last year I definitely had a better clue of what it was. So,
Well, one difference between you guys, Corey, you're a shortstop. Josh, you're going to play multiple positions, maybe even over the course of a given week, right? Depends on what the need is, and not just on the dirt. You've played in the outfield as well. How do you balance staying fresh on a position you might not regularly be playing, while also putting in the necessary time to prepare and make sure that you've got the work? When Josh Young went down, all right, I'm going to be at third. You're probably putting in a lot more time at third, but you still want to be fresh to be able to play whatever else might be asked upon you. How do you balance that?
yeah, so I guess for me, I would say, right, I think the reason that I started out being in the big leagues was mostly defense. And so to me, that's always came a little bit more naturally than offense. And so I'll put in work at each of those positions, but we've been playing this game for so long. I feel like defense at this point, you can get better, obviously, but I'm not overworking at each position. I kind of am just sprinkling in some ground balls at third, short, and then shagging in left field, center, right, just trying to stay ready. But it is, I don't care what anybody says, it's all about hitting. So you have to be ready to hit, and that's just the way it is. So.
Well, one thing you guys both do really well and demonstrated last year, you're both left-handed hitters, but you hit left-handed pitching. And in the game these days, it seems like there are, whether it's an organization or a manager's philosophy, we're going to match up like crazy. And sometimes lefties don't get the chance a lot of times to hit lefties. We're going to pinch hit. And you guys make sure that Bruce Bochy doesn't have to make those decisions, right? With the success you guys have had against left-handed pitching. And I think that is such a valuable part of any lineup. What is it for both of you guys that has made the left-on-left advantage that pitchers tend to have not be an advantage when you guys are in the box?
Luck.
Feeling good that day.
Yeah, being in the right spot. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, lefties are good, right? It seems like there's more left-handed specialists in the bullpen, right? And for me, throughout my career, it's not getting down on those at-bats, right? Like, that guy is actually supposed to get you out. That is his entire job, to get lefties out. So it's not getting frustrated from that at-bat and being able to capitalize on a starter or a mid-reliever, something like that. So you're never, like, rattled about the one at-bat. You can kind of move on and realize that, hey, this is what he does, so I need to try and attack this guy a little more.
Yeah, I kind of always just said, like, I especially for a guy trying to figure out if he can hit lefties or righties, for a lefty, the best way to basically get the opportunity to hit against lefties is you have to get hit against righties first. And so if you don't do that, you're 100% not getting a chance to hit against lefties. But you do get that. But I'm still, like, if you ask me, hey, we could face a righty or a lefty, who do you want to face? Even though my statistics show I'm better against lefties, I would 100% rather face a righty. It's just like a comfortability thing, but that's how it is for me. So,
Josh is an on-base machine. If you follow the Rangers, you know that he's going to draw walks. He's also going to get hit by pitches at a pretty high rate. Do you guys ever tell him, dude, just get out of the way? Like, it's okay. You're a good enough hitter. You'll find your way on.
Ball hurts. That's always been my plan. I try and get out of the way as much as I can.
Yeah, they'd always give me give me a tough time because I like the ball down and in, and so I would always swing at a pitch that would actually hit my back foot probably every week or so. So
That might be the college in you too. You know, you probably took batting practice
just
where they
grinding.
hit you. Yeah.
grinding to get on base.
All right, we did a Smitty chant. I asked you if you like Juice or Smitty more. A lot of guys, pretty much everyone probably in the clubhouse calls you Juice. Can you explain how that all came about?
I can. Yeah. So
It was self-proclaimed.
it was 100% self-proclaimed. So everybody called him Schmitty, and I called him Josh one day. And this was really early. This is probably that was last year, wasn't it?
23.
Yeah, 23. And he kind of looked at me and goes, "Nobody calls me Josh." And I go, "Well, that's your name, isn't it?" Like, kind of surprised a little. And I
don't think Corey knew my name for the first year and a half.
like
of being,
I knew Schmitty. I was about 50-50 on the Josh part, probably. So I was really clarifying. And then I was like, all right, well, what do you want to be called? And he said, Juice. And I went, yes. I will absolutely tell everybody to call you Juice.
Yeah, that's how it started.
But Corey wasn't the first person to call you Juice, right?
No, he's definitely a reason though. It's stuck around. He's big on it. Brad Miller was big at. He would get it going a little bit for me, and so now it's like really we have like 4 Joshes I think on the team, and so no one really calls me Josh anymore.
I had to change his name in my phone because I would go type Juice and it would never pop up. So I literally had to change his name to Juice.
What do you call Corey?
I just call you Corey.
Yeah,
I don't say.
probably.
I can't say. I don't go Seager. I just say Corey.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, not as
Not as fun. Yeah, just Corey.
not as fun. I'm curious, Josh. One of the coolest moments, I think, for Rangers fans last year was your walk-off home run against the Astros. I mean, how many people remember that? Yeah. What do we think about the Astros? We can do better than that, right? What do we think about the Astros? There you go. I like that. I think anyone who has dreamt of playing Major League Baseball, it doesn't matter who you're playing for or against, you want to hit a walk-off home run. To do it, and it was a big point of the season, the playoffs, the division, that was still, up for grabs. It seemed like a big win. What was that moment like for you? Because it was your first walk-off, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah. So that was in my career so far. It's probably been one of the favorite memories I have. But just kind of going through that situation, it was very special because I sadly did grow up an Astros fan. It's what was on TV around where I was
forgive
from.
him.
Probably shouldn't admit that.
And so to do it against them was pretty cool. But I just remember the situation. But this is what it goes to show, like having a good hitter behind you does. And so that situation, it's a 3-1 count with Corey on deck. And so I'm thinking there's 0 chance this guy's going to throw anything other than a heater right down the middle. And I'm going to try to hit a home run on it. So I was 0 for 4. I'm like 0 for 5, whatever. Let's just give it a go. And he threw it there and I got it. So
You knew right away?
yeah, I did.
What's that? I mean, are you do you feel anything when you're rounding the bases, or do you kind of black out?
Yeah, it's the cliche, you black out. There's so much adrenaline, you don't really get to enjoy. I mean, you do get to enjoy it, but you go back and you see a video of it and you're like, yeah, that was pretty special.
Who's the best, or who has the best post-win clubhouse dance celebration? Anyone really stand out? Anyone steal the show?
I can't say on here what Max Scherzer used to do, but that was pretty wild. I'll let your imagination go some places.
Right.
I can't really think of anybody. That's the thing about the season is you can't get too high, I guess, after a win. I would guess, but nothing really sticks out to me there.
Or let me ask this: who do you guys most like controlling the music before or after a game, and who do you try to keep away from DJing?
Our clubhouse guy, Parker.
Yeah.
Parker, we keeping Parker away?
Yeah, we're going to
Yeah.
keep Parker away for sure.
Parker's he's been with the Rangers forever. Yeah. He hasn't learned?
No,
No.
still hasn't.
I tried to get on it this past year, and I think we went on like a 6-game losing streak after, and so I stopped getting on it. Guys would give me a tough time. But yeah, I don't really. We have like a set playlist like after we win that's kind of just like engraved in your brain of just like every word to every song. So it's we got some good ones on there. Don't ask me which ones though.
I won't. Baby Bash, though, still one of the best walk-up songs, I think. No one else has it, right? You don't like it?
These guys, yeah.
That song's terrible.
That was
Great
my
song.
old one.
Great song.
But
Don't
not
get
a
me
good
wrong.
walk-up song?
Horrible walk-up song.
But, like, no one else has it. I think you get points
I
for...
could do anything, and everyone on this team gives me a tough time, so that's just what it is.
You do fill that role. Right? He's kind of like the little...
strays. Yeah, he catches a lot of strays.
I catch all the strays.
Is that your most memorable home run in your career? Or is there even, I guess, go back to college?
Honestly, yeah, probably. But the inside the park home run, like for your first one, getting jammed and hitting a ball 90 miles an hour and getting a home run was pretty crazy.
Yeah. Against Tampa?
No, it was A's. Against the A's,
okay.
yeah.
What's your most memorable home run?
Yeah, game 1 was pretty cool for sure.
Pretty cool.
Anybody remember that?
Yeah.
Do we? Yeah. Paul Sewald on the mound.
Yeah, honestly, any home run in the World Series is fun, right? Like, it's what you always dream about. It's what you always want to be. It's what every team's goal is, and to be able to produce then it's fun. Any of those doesn't matter. You pick it.
So it's kind of cool. I mean, like. Any home run in the World Series.
Yeah, he's got more home runs in the World Series than I do in my career.
For some people, it's like my home run in the World Series. For Corey,
which
take
one?
A pick. Yeah. All right. Well, speaking of the World Series, the goal is to get back and some movement this offseason. And one of the guys that the Rangers have brought in, I think he was up here a few hours ago, Jock Peterson. He's won a couple World Series. You've played with him, Corey. Josh, I assume you've gotten to know him a little bit, even if just in the last 24 hours, maybe. I hope.
I really haven't gotten to know him, but he explained him to me, and it's pretty spot on from what I've seen so far.
Yeah.
He seems great.
Let's first talk about Jock the player.
Okay.
What is he going to bring to this team?
Competitive at bat. No matter who's on the mound, he gets more at-bats off righties. But he's one of those guys that he struggled against lefties early in his career, but he's really figured it out. He's a good hitter. He's going to come in there and he's going to slug and he's going to take his walks. It's exciting to have him in our lineup.
Josh, you haven't played with him, but when the team acquires someone, especially a position player, someone you're going to be in a lineup with, do you go and dive into their baseball reference page? Do you try and reach out and get to know them? Like what's the checklist for you when the team acquires someone like Jock?
No, I'm not really looking at. You play against some of these guys, so you do know who they are, what kind of player they are, but I'm not going to look up their numbers. And really, I wouldn't say I even reach out to them. We kind of run into each other once spring starts, and you kind of get to know each other, and then you're with these guys so much, you get so close to them. But no, I wouldn't say you go in and you're, all right, what's this guy do here? What's he do there? We played against Jock last year. I think he had 2 homers against us, and so, right? I think, and so you kind of know already what these guys are, what kind of players they are, and so you're just excited because he's gonna hopefully make your team better, and so that's the main focus.
All right. Jock the person, what should fans expect? Not the behind the scenes, but what do you think fans will get to experience with Jock?
Jock will put a smile on your face every day somehow. That's a good way to play him. But he's everybody's hype man. He's just happy, go lucky, fun. He's a good time. He'll get rowdy in the dugout, which is something that we don't always do, right? We have a lot of guys that are pretty serious and mellow, and that'll be a great addition for us.
What do you guys think about Jock so far? You like him? Yeah? His opening press conference, he had some comments about taking control of the AL West, right? For those of you who didn't hear, I think he was pretty direct in saying it's time to bring the control of the division back here in the better part of Texas, not down south. You got 26 active players. more in the clubhouse, guys who are hurt and whatnot. Yeah, big group. You can't have the same person, right? It wouldn't work if you had 26 of the exact same person. Jock seems to have a personality that, I mean, you kind of just touched on it. You know, it's unique, right? He's not cookie cutter. How important is to have some of those guys to break things up and to provide a spark and maybe say something like that, you know, that's not your personality. You're not going to be the guy to go out and say that. You all think that, but to add a little bit of spice, I guess.
Yeah, you know, absolutely. You have to have those guys. You know, it extends the good times and it shortens the bad times, right? Like when you're going through a rut or stuff's just not clicking, like that guy can change a culture and change a clubhouse and change where you're at in the moment. But also when you're going good, you ride that high of his energy and everything else. So like having guys like that is 1,000% needed in a clubhouse.
He covered it?
Yeah, you got that one.
Nailed it.
All right, I want to ask you guys about someone I know you both think really highly of, and I know our fans love him, but don't get to connect as much with him, and that's Adolis Garcia. Yeah, we can give a round of applause for Adolis. What can you guys tell us about Adolis? I mean, you guys get to know him way better than any of us. A good story or just a fun little anecdote, just something about Adolis, why you guys love him so much.
You want me to go first? No offense, buddy. But Adolis is probably one of my favorite people in the clubhouse. Same thing, right? Like, he does it a little more under the radar than Jock, but, like, he is happy. He's making fun of. He's poking jokes at people, especially Leo and Duran. Like, they are constantly cracking jokes on each other and having fun. And just to be able to get involved in their group a little bit has been a lot of fun the last couple of years.
I would say the same thing. Is you guys get to see him on the field, and he is this big, strong, ripped, not an ounce of fat on him, just meanest looking guy in the world. He is literally one of the nicest, funniest human beings in the locker room. He is awesome. He really is. Like you said, I'm pretty sure everyone here's answer would be Adolis Garcia is one of their favorite teammates. Whether it's ping pong cards, he's always talking smack, and he makes things fun. But you just know, like, on the field, he's got like that killer instinct, and he loves the moment. But just, it's really cool to see him off the field, how he is and how awesome of a guy he is. He is the best. He's the best.
All right, well, we're going to have some fun here. Maybe we'll get back to baseball in a second, but, we mentioned earlier, these two really good buds. I asked them to participate in a version of the Newlywed game. So I asked Josh and Corey separately to answer 5 questions about the other each, and we'll see who ends up faring better at predicting what the other one would say, all right? So the first question, Josh, you lost the coin toss backstage, so you're going to go first. What would Corey say gets under your skin?
What would Corey say gets under my skin? Wait, were these... Hold on. What would Corey say gets under my skin?
I have your answer, but what do you think Corey said about you?
What gets under my skin?
God, we're confused already.
Why am I so confused?
I don't know.
I'm thinking of the questions you asked me.
I got your answer.
So this is what he said.
What do you think I said?
Oh,
How do you think I answered this question?
What gets under my skin?
Yeah, like what would I said annoys you?
It's either something to do with how he thinks he's a better card player than me, or something about my hair.
Corey, what did you say?
I couldn't think of anything because I thought it was towards me. So I literally...
You see how I'm confused? Jared, we're confused.
I literally didn't know how to answer it.
You made the hair comment, right?
Yeah.
If we reversed it, what do you think Corey would say? The hair, you got it, right? That's a big thing for you, big part of your identity. What gets under, all right, we'll reverse it. We'll try not to confuse anyone here. Maybe I'm the problem.
I'm so confused.
I think we answered these backwards.
I think we answered them backwards.
What gets under Corey's skin?
What? This is okay.
That's how I
so
answered it.
Okay, yeah. What gets under Corey's skin? I don't know. He's pretty mellow. What gets under his skin? Oh man, dude. I really do.
We're so
it's
bad at
so
this game.
tough.
You might be on the right track.
I mean, yeah, really, is it nothing? Is it absolutely nothing?
Yeah, I literally didn't have an answer for him. I was like, I can't say a thing.
All right, we'll give Josh a point.
Yeah.
Plus, they're overcoming the confusion, so bonus points there.
Yeah, my answers are backwards.
All right, if you guys were roommates, you've never...
Oh, I got this one right.
Okay, if you guys were roommates, I asked each of you what the other's responsibility would be. Corey, what did you say Josh's responsibility would be?
Taking out the trash and the dogs.
And what?
The dogs.
The trash
that
and the
literally
dogs?
is. That's
Josh-
my responsibilities at my house is to take out the trash and take out the dog. And my wife is recently trying to get me to take out or to do the coffee every night now, since she can't do that one. But and then I guess for my answer on him is I know he does the dishes at his house and he makes his wife do the laundry. So I'm gonna go with he does the dishes.
Yep.
Are you an elite dishwasher?
Unfortunately, yeah.
Wait, I just answered my question when you should have.
That's
answered.
okay. We're just going to ask the questions. We don't need the game part
Yeah.
of it. That's
Yeah.
all right.
You were right, though.
Are you a willing dishwasher?
No, I would have rather done laundry.
You'd rather do the laundry?
Yeah, it's once every 2 weeks. Dishes are 3 times a day. It's just never ending. I'd rather do it once every 2 weeks.
He has a maid. He's lying. He doesn't do any of it.
Dresses up in a costume. All right. Josh, what was your first impression of Corey?
I hated him. I'm being dead serious. I thought he was so mean. Obviously, I'm a young kid. He deals with all these young guys coming up all the time. He didn't talk to me. I will never forget one time my shoulder was killing me. And I was taking ground balls and I'm trying to throw the ball, barely throwing it over there. He looks me dead in the eye and he goes, "Just don't throw." And he's aggravated. I'm like, I'm out here trying, man. I'm giving everything I got to you. I don't even want to be out here because my shoulder's hurting so bad. And I honestly hated him. I was like, this guy, he didn't talk to me, but he was so focused on just the game. And then obviously now he's one of my best friends on the team, and just he's not the guy I thought he was, but he still kind of is.
Maybe I do get annoyed.
What was the turning point? When did you realize, okay, I understand this guy?
Maybe when you self-proclaimed Juice. That's probably when it changed.
Called me Juice, and I was like, no, I don't know. We got into cards, I guess. I feel like that's probably when we started getting pretty close. Play cards together every day, so kind of see how he's a kind of a goober, honestly. Off the field, he's he shows more emotion than in anything. He shows emotion in pretty much everything besides baseball. Cards, he's wants the
fantasy football.
Oh my man. God.
Yeah. I'll light you up about fantasy football.
So I would definitely say that.
What was your first impression of Josh?
The guy loves his hair. That was my first impression. Yeah, that was when it was long and flowy too. That's probably when it changed. That kid was running down the line.
Where it changed. No, yeah, this kid was. This was 23.
Yeah,
it was
spring.
23 spring training. I still have my long hair. Yeah, I still have my long hair. And there was this kid. I forget. I'm not gonna name his name.
Minor league kid running.
Yeah. In spring training, on the other side of the, this is literally exactly
San
when
Fran,
I felt
right?
it.
I think it was San Fran.
I don't remember who it was, but there was this kid. We were all stretching, and he was on the, left field line, and there was this kid running. He had long black hair. He was short. He looked literally just like me, and I looked at Corey and I said, "Is that what I look like?" And he was like, "Yep." So since I cut my hair, I shouldn't have.
We've been friends ever since.
I'm not going to name the kid, but he looked terrible. And I was like, this is not a good look. That's what happened.
Okay. Corey, what is something Josh is just randomly good at?
I'm going to go singing.
Yes.
Get some Mario on or some slow. Yeah, look at him. See, he's getting all excited. There's been a few bus concerts, he has fun on planes every once in a while, and he lets it out. And you don't have to ask him either. When he's in the mood, he will walk right up to the front and take the mic. That's the best part. Sometimes we got to kick him out.
I'm not going to do that for you guys today. I'm a little too nervous right here.
If he hits another walk-off homer against the Astros, he'll do it after the game. How about that? Yeah. But what's your karaoke go-to?
Honestly, it depends on the mood we're in. Like you said, when you're a rookie, you get called up to the front of the bus, you got to sing a song, blah, blah, blah. It was Let Me Love You by Mario. I mean, we got so many different ones. I really love, what's the guy's name? I can't think of his name on the spot, but he passed away recently. He sings, I can't think of his name.
You're never going to think of it. You're too nervous.
I'll think of it in a little bit, yeah.
Well, all right, well, yeah, we can come back to you on that. What is something Corey's randomly good at?
Oh, yeah, so Corey is...
Cards.
He's not good at cards. He thinks he's better than me at cards. He's not, but he'll never
We're
admit
partners, by the way.
We are.
It's really good camaraderie.
But he's sneaky, really good, and I've seen him play literally one time, and I was like, golly. But he's really good at ping pong, but never plays. Yeah. And we play so much ping pong. Like, that's how I basically warm up for a game, is playing ping pong. And you've seen it. We get pretty heated in there. And I've never seen him. He's played one time, and he's really good, but he claims he doesn't play or whatever.
There's a reason behind why I don't play. Yes, I know you were going to ask me.
Okay.
Because then everybody's going to want to play, right? Like, if everybody wants to try and beat the best. So if nobody knows you're good, like, you don't have to play, right? So me and Adolis play all the time, right? We'll get there early, and I give them like 3 games a year, and I'm done. Like, it just takes too much time.
Corey shows up at like 8 in the morning, gets his ping pong in, so it's all out of his system.
Dude, why are you sweating?
All right, what will Corey be doing in 20 years, Josh?
This is an exact answer of what he probably would have said. I don't know if he'd have said it, but it's right. He's going to have absolutely nothing to do with baseball. Get your dose of Corey Seager now, because once he's done playing, you'll never see him again. In my opinion, we talked about this the other day. I hope he doesn't, but he's going to be very fat and lazy, but he's going to be very happy. He's going to live a happy life. Is that pretty spot on?
Very happy life.
Playing a lot of golf?
Yeah. She's not going to let me gain too much weight, unfortunately. But, yeah, I mean, you work so hard, right? And as you should, right? Like, we have a short amount of time to dedicate to our craft, right? Like, we get a window, and I'm going to absolutely try and maximize my window, right? If it gets stretched a little longer, like, awesome. But when it's done, like, I'm going to be done, you know? Like, I'll have done everything I've wanted to, experienced everything, been around everybody, and then once it's time, it's time to go find some trees.
I mean, you said Corey'd be fat in 20 years. Corey was a little more complimentary about what you might be doing in 20 years. What'd you tell me?
He said he'll be fat. He always says that. And I say, don't get fat.
Working out's hard, man. He's going to be a businessman. That's what he always says. I'm going to get into business. I don't care what it is, but I'm going to be a businessman. Just like that. And his little head starts going and his fingers start pointing.
A what?
A beef shop.
I
own a beef shop.
That's the flavor of the week.
Yeah, it's
Does
something
he always
different.
has
It's
ideas?
something different every time.
Are you a big like, oh, I got this idea, I got that idea?
Yeah, he's going to buy a business and just keep it
I
going.
got
That's what he
something
says.
new
He goes,
every
I don't
week."
want to start it from the ground. I just want to buy something working and then just
Yeah.
keep going.
Yeah,
and
it's
then
easy.
he came in today and said that, butcher, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be a butcher. I'm like, okay, here we go.
Or an actor, singer.
Singer, yeah. You got to bring the hair
Top
back.
5 in the league, buddy. Top 5 in the league.
What's that? Top 5, yeah.
We're not going to say what it means, but go ahead.
All right. Newlywed game. It didn't end up being really a game. It was just questions.
A little backwards, huh?
Yeah, a little backwards. I probably
yeah.
screwed that
Oops.
up. I haven't seen the Newlywed game in like 20 years, so I probably messed up the order. But you guys have had the chance to play with some great players, come across some great players. Josh, LSU's got so much history. I'm sure you've got to meet people that have come through that program. Corey, the Dodgers. I mean, the history with the Dodgers and both of you guys now with the Rangers. Is there someone in the game you guys haven't met who is within reach, like a living person? And you're like, gosh, like
I feel like I would have met them, but if I ever have the chance, I'd really like to.
I had 2, and then they actually happened in 23, both of them, which was really cool. Ken Griffey Jr., my brother was around him, and he talked everything about him, watched him growing, all that stuff, right? And I met him at the All-Star Game in Seattle. That was a pretty special moment. And then same thing was Jeter in the playoffs, right? Like, had a chance in 2014, I think it was. His last All-Star Game was my brother's first, and I was there for the Futures game. They let me stay and watch him, and he walked out, and my dad reached his hand out and just said, "Hey man, congrats on a great career," and I just froze, just literally stone-faced, just watched him walk and was just like, oh my God, that was my chance, right? Like, this may never happen again. And then actually got to meet him during the playoffs, which was pretty cool, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think a lot of guys who haven't met Jeter would definitely say Jeter's the guy that they would want to meet, which I definitely would too. But me, it's not really a baseball player, but it is a former athlete. I am a diehard Drew Brees fan, and I've never got to meet him. He's a New Orleans guy. The year I left LSU, he threw a first pitch out there, and like they all got to meet him. But I guess for me, that was my idol growing up, and so mine would 100% be Drew Brees in the athletic world, I guess.
Well, figure out a way to make it happen.
I know, we need to.
Would you freeze like Corey and Jeter?
I promised myself I would never, ever ask a celebrity or like a former baseball player, athlete for a picture, autograph. I would fanboy over Drew Brees. I'd probably try to ask for a picture of him. So.
Nothing wrong with that. All right, last one, guys. Looking ahead to 2020, 2025? It's 2025. You guys are going to be heading to Arizona in a few weeks. Spring training games will start in a little over a month. And then next thing you know, the regular season's going to be here. What are you guys most looking forward to getting things going here in 2025, turning the page on last year and trying to get back to what you guys were able to accomplish and where you were able to go 2 years ago?
Me? Okay. Yeah, I think kind of right now it's another cliche answer, right? But like, you start getting around the stadium again, you start seeing the fans again, it's a thing that kind of turns the page for you, and it's like, okay, now it's time, right? We got a little over 3 weeks and we'll be in Arizona, and once you kind of get back in the clubhouse and you see everybody and you get to talk to them about their off seasons, and you go out on the field for the first time, and then it sets in, right? And then it becomes go time, and then you start having your talks about what went wrong, where we can be better, the new team we have, because every year is going to be different, right? Like, as much as you want to replicate 23, we have a new group. So you got to find a way to come together that year and see where our strengths is, see where our weaknesses, see how we can improve, and kind of really grow in spring training and hit the ground running.
Yeah, I guess kind of just going off that, really just you're excited these last few weeks of off season. You are excited to get back. It's a bittersweet feeling too, though. Like you do like being with your family and away from the field for a little bit, but you kind of have that in the back of your mind of you're excited to meet your new teammates, see your old teammates that you played with last year, and just kind of get the group back together and kind of working towards the ultimate goal, which is obviously to go win another one. But yeah, it's at this point in the off season, I guess, it's you're excited, but also like, man, I like being home, but you are excited for sure.
And who's the better card player, just to clarify?
Me.
Don't lie to him.
Me. He's like the big brother when he never messes up. But like if I mess up, it's the end of the world, but it's always my fault. If he messes up, it's my fault. So yeah.
I admit my faults. That's the problem. You don't. See, right there.
No,
I admit
not.
when I screw up.
He doesn't. He
Well,
does
you guys
not.
you guys can agree on one thing, just in talking to you guys over the course of the last year.
We were way better than DeGrom and Janko.
Yeah,
way
we kept
better.
a tally against DeGrom and
Way
Jankowski. We played literally every single day. I
Yeah.
think we beat them by like 40 games or something like that.
if not more.
I wasn't even going to go there. I was going to say you guys just hope that Wyatt Langford's actually a good card player when he comes back in spring training,
Wyatt's
right?
terrible.
Guy couldn't even
Wyatt's
shuffle
terrible.
when he started playing with
He's
us.
terrible. He's a good ping pong player though.
But not a good card player.
Terrible.
Pretty good at baseball, though.
really good at baseball.
Yeah.
Jealous of that.
MVP-ish one year. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. How about that? Hey, ladies and gentlemen, the #1 ping pong player with the Rangers, Corey Seager, future American Idol winner, Josh Smith.
Thank you. And the song, it was "Ain't No Sunshine." Whoever sings that, that's my
Ain't
go-to.
No Sunshine. All right. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you in Arizona, and then we'll see you back here at Globe Life Field in around 2 months. Take care. Thank you.